All right, we're getting started here. We're getting started. Gotta make sure the stream's out there. Audio, oops, audio levels. No, I didn't do that. No recording. Audio levels are good. On my end, can you guys hear everything? I'll wait till the stream kicks in on my phone to make sure I don't start without making sure you guys are involved. Usually takes a second to kick in. Usually takes a second. We are live. What up, Arthur? Well, I'm seeing you guys. You guys can see me before my phone, like it doesn't show up yet. Oh, there it comes. Oh, there we are. All right, checking in, you guys. Comment where you guys are tuning in from. Welcome to another night of Ukraine war news live from Kyiv. I'm here in Ukraine. I'm here for another week. So you guys are getting the live reporting here from the war news that we're doing at night, as well as our Good Morning Kyiv stream. All right, check in, check in, check in. Because I can listen, I don't care about other creators, about what the time they're at. We got our shit to do. It's midnight, okay? It's midnight here, and I'm doing the best I can to provide a live feed for you guys still, because I'm not staying up till 3 in the morning and doing a stream, so that way it matches up with my my US time. So this is when we're doing it. You Mercado supporters will support, you know, we'll be here. Everyone else, you can pick and choose where to go. It is what it is. So check in, you guys. We have so many viewers. We got Ben Wheeler, Texas, South Australia's tuned in. We got Sweden tuned in. Utah's tuned in. Apple Valley, Minnesota, my home state, is tuned in. Australia, and also everybody that tuned in to Good Morning Kyiv this morning. Everybody that watched, I have the ending to it that we're gonna play here very soon. We're growing a morning show here, which is just absolutely awesome, right? We have a guest in tomorrow morning, just to give you guys a little sneak preview, but which is actually in would it be in it's 6 hours from now for you guys. So this tonight, Saturday night. So if you don't have any plans for your Saturday night, you're going to be watching the tomorrow, because we have Operator Starsky coming on and Johnny FD. So those are going to be our guests for tomorrow morning's Good Morning Kyiv stream. And I can't wait. We obviously have Operator Starsky speaks for himself. But then Johnny FD, I went to his birthday party. He's awesome. And we have also watched his videos in the early days of the invasion. And he was vlogging and walking around and seeing it. So we'd be able to talk to him, and is going to be awesome, right? So check in, everyone. We got Minnesota tuned in, Southwest Michigan. What up, KLW News? We got Netherlands tuned in. We got Philly tuned in. We got Winnipeg, Canada tuned in. Good to have you guys. Minnesota is tuned in. We got my home state repping right now. Welcome. It is Saturday, so more of you guys should be able to be tuned in tonight. So we're going to go into the latest news and events, combat videos, clips, map breakdown, talk about the order of the inactive reserve from Biden and what that all means. And also I'm going to play the very ending to this morning. And if you haven't seen our morning Good Morning Kyiv broadcast, I mean, this should be a good introduction for you to what it is, and you can check it out, right? And we've done one every morning. I set it up as a podcast now. So if you actually go to the Mercado Media YouTube channel like this, I'll show you guys. So if you guys actually go here, go to Mercado Media and you click podcasts, and all of the Good Morning Kyiv episodes are right there. Like it's in like a playlist right here. So if you missed any, again, we had Mick on, which I'm going to play the ending to that, because the stream ended today and it just was weird. I had a weird technical day, but the ending I'm going to play here in a minute. But we've had Mick on, who's an Australian volunteer here in Ukraine. He was a Cav scout in the Australian Army, and now he's here training Ukrainian soldiers. And oh my God, he was just such a, what do you got? Yeah, you guys saw him, right? He was such an amazing guest today. Like his message was just so, like, me and Alex were just like shook, because it was just amazing, like the words he was saying. So he was on today. The day prior, obviously, we had Starsky and Rick the Ukrainian on. Just an amazing conversation with Rick in perspective. He lived under Russian occupation in Donbass, so he sheds light on some of the bullshit, misinformation. Then obviously, Operator Starsky's a unit, so he's there. The day prior, Orange Hats in the chat. We had John Sweeney on, right? We kind of like kicked off our. Before that, it was just kind of me and Alex, you know, just talking with everyone, and then we reached out, and we got his email, and we were able to have John Sweeney on pretty quick. I want to have Philip Ittner on at some point. He was in the Shill stream. That would be cool to have him on. But tomorrow we're having Johnny FD on with Starsky, which is going to be awesome. So we've had some really good streams cooking for you guys. And also, I posted recent vlogs on video form, right? And you guys wanted videos. I keep seeing people saying, "Oh, we don't have time to watch a stream." Well, I've been posting videos like crazy, you know. Dude, I've been doing more vlogs than anything than in my whole life here. We did about a week ago already. That's crazy. We did exploring for the Battle of Hostomel in Bucha with Starsky. He was in his uniform showing us how they saved Kyiv, essentially. Then me and Starsky walked around and did a vlog showing the museum next to the Motherland Fatherland statue, which was awesome. Mission accomplished. The whole video of the handoff to the Ukrainian soldiers at the fortress, that's posted, but it's also just on our homepage. I changed it, you know, it's 2023. Porta-John Monster on the homepage was holding it down for the longest, but if you go to my YouTube channel now, that video will actually be the one that shows up. And then today I posted a vlog, a longer one. It was like nearly 20 minutes, and I just threw it on there. Like I didn't know how well it was gonna do or whatever, but it's the whole journey, within 20 minutes of my trip from Estonia. Well, actually from Minnesota, because I actually started filming in the airport in Minnesota, and then filmed variously throughout the whole drive to Ukraine. So you should definitely go and check that out. It's actually pinned in the comments right now. It's the while you wait, but I mean, you're not waiting now because the stream started, but you should definitely, after this stream, go and check out that video. Go give the vlogs a like. Go give it a view, you guys. It's got to help my algorithm up. We're getting close to 60,000 subs. You know, we're like little under 600 away now. So like the video, hit that subscribe button if you're new over here. We're growing on YouTube. I'm appealing to my Facebook audience because on Mercado Media Facebook page, we have like 111,000 followers there. But it's a pain to, I don't know, they're just not, they don't understand YouTube, or they think YouTube and the word subscribe is like monetary. So a lot of people think that when I say go and subscribe to the YouTube channel, it means they have to pay or something, and it's just not the case, obviously. It's just YouTube's follow button. So I'm trying to get more of my Facebook audience here on the YouTube channel because you guys are my core audience for that. But before we get started, another funny video came in because you guys know we're dealing with the letter sending attorneys on the side, and they're just a sideshow at this point, just clowns, not taking them seriously in terms of legal threats or anything. They're just a troll, honestly. But this was sent to me, and I fucking cried. I fucking cried laughing, and I want you guys to enjoy this. And then after we watch this comedy video from our amazing community of the podcast of Good Morning Kyiv today, and then the full rundown of news and combat videos, because there is some news stories to go through today. So we're gonna check this out. I hope you guys enjoy this because I fucking cried. And you got to read the subtitles. It's this French, I don't even know. It's like this French interviewer. I don't even know what this is from, but it's hilarious. All right, here we go. It plays.
Marijke, jij had een normaal leven daarvoor en toen plots kom je uit narcose en dan merk je dat het leven niet meer hetzelfde zal zijn. Hoe reageer je daar dan op?
Ja, eerst met heel veel ongeloof.
Ongeloof is eigenlijk het juiste woord.
Excuseer.
Ongeloof is eigenlijk het juiste woord wat Marijke hier hanteert. Dat was bij mij dus ook mijn eerste gewaarwording. Dat ik dacht, dat kan niet. Dat mag... Dat...
Excuseer, dames en heren. Dus, je probeert dan terug je toekomst...
Ik begrijp echt niet wat er hier aan het gebeuren is.
Excuseer. Valer, sorry. Echt sorry. Excuseer, dames en heren. Dat betekent ook dat je bijvoorbeeld... seksualiteit...
You want me to read it? Fine. All right, you guys can't hear it that well, or you can't read the subtitles are short. We need guys to make these on something with bigger subtitles because we have a visually struggling people sometimes. But also you can pinch and zoom on the video too just to read, but I'll read. He drove a second from Estonia to the warriors in Ukraine. Allegedly, we don't trust the NAFO 69th Brigade.
Dat ook niet kwalijk.
Reenactor, what say you? I agree. We can't profit from them.
Als je met seks omgaat...
Allegedly, Mercado's in Kyiv.
Fysieke, dat telt, maar
Hanging out with cool people in Kyiv. In real...
Ja, ik vind dus dat dit echt niet kan, hoor. Ik bedoel, maar nee, maar moeten we nu nog antwoorden of niet? Want ja, dan zwijg ik liever.
Good, good, good. I can't enlarge the subtitles. I know what you mean, enlarging them. I mean, we can watch it from this. All right. But it's like, here, let me see. Let's try this. Let's try this one more time, if you guys can read it. All right, there you go. How about this? Can you read it? There we go. We can do it from here, and then you guys can read it. All right, one more time. One more time, because it's just too funny. Okay, and it's just like a minute long. All right.
Marijke, jij had een normaal leven daarvoor en toen plots kom je uit narcose en dan merk je dat het leven niet meer hetzelfde zal zijn. Hoe reageer je daar dan op?
Ja, eerst met heel veel ongeloof.
Ongeloof is eigenlijk het juiste woord.
Excuseer.
Ongeloof is eigenlijk het juiste woord wat Marijke hier hanteert. Omdat, dat was bij mij dus ook mijn eerste gewaarwording. Dat ik dacht, dat kan niet. Dat mag... Dat...
Excuseer, dames en heren. Dus, je probeert dan terug je toekomst...
Ik begrijp echt niet wat er hier aan het gebeuren is.
Excuseer. Valer, sorry. Echt sorry. Excuseer, dames en heren. Dat betekent ook dat je bijvoorbeeld... seksualiteit ook een groot probleem bijvoorbeeld wordt.
Ja, mijn vriend heeft het gewoon gedaan gemaakt. En ik neem hem daar ook niet kwalijk.
Plus het feit, als je met seks omgaat... Is het niet alleen het fysieke dat telt, maar ook soms de lieve woordjes. Ja, ik vind dus dat dit echt niet kan, hoor. Ik bedoel, maar nee, maar moeten we nu nog antwoorden of niet? Want ja, dan zwijg ik liever.
Oh, that's so funny. You guys are hilarious. I mean, that was sent to our Discord server. If you're not in our Discord server yet, I don't know what you're doing, but that's hilarious. All right, now for the serious mode now. All right, we're going into serious mode. We're going to watch the ending. You guys, I know I'm off camera right now because I'm going to be in this next video. Oh, I'm on the camera now. I hit the button. But I'm going to be in this video, and we're just going to play it out. And if you have missed our Good Morning Kyiv streams, here's an example of what you can expect from tomorrow with Johnny FD and Operator Starsky. And I really, if you haven't seen them, you really should tune in. Like, we're really doing something here with this Good Morning Kyiv program. What do you guys think? Do you thumbs up in the chat? You like the Good Morning Kyiv stream? Let me know. Maybe comment in the chat if you haven't seen it yet. And if you would like to, I really hope you tune in. So here we go. I'm going to play this out. For everyone that tuned in today, I really am sorry that the stream ended and cut. I know you were looking forward to the ending, but don't even worry about it. We recorded the ending. Here you go. And now, by the way, just again, some background up to read. The person that we're talking to here is Mick Dundee. He's an Australian volunteer here in Ukraine. He's been to the front lines. He essentially, in his first trip here and second, he was in Bakhmut rescuing civilians and getting them out from harm's way. And now he's training Ukrainian soldiers. He's just a massive man. Here we go.
So let's go. Let's going to give it to Alex now. He's going to ask some questions.
Thank you, Andrew. I think, like, if I just set the context a little bit, because throughout your interview, like, you were getting a lot of admiration, both as veterans from the West out here helping, but just the sincerity of the conversation as well. I think, you know, you've come across as a titan of a man with a big heart, So it's been quite amazing listening to your stories, Mick. There has been some funny comments along the way as well, so I'll chuck a few of them in, varying from, is that Chris Hemsworth? Also Conor McGregor, which I thought was quite good. People were questioning whether or not you were that big. They were like, he really doesn't look that big.
Show them.
And I was like, well, like, if you want to have a, let's have a look, just so you can see.
I'll let you boys stand up.
How big he is. Like,
Look how tall this guy is.
He's massive.
Look at the size of him.
He towers me still. It's insane.
He's
The thumbnail makes Alex look massive, but it's actually him.
I know, and I was.
That was a bit of my plan too. I wanted to make everyone else look bigger than me.
I was particularly pleased with that thumbnail, I must admit. But no, when we first met Mick at Starsky's birthday, I sat next to him, and it was good because it had been super hot that day. But sitting next to him, I was suddenly in the shade because he blocked out the sun, basically. I'll do the questions, but also we do need to quickly do the weather as well. So we'll jump to that. But Brandon, question: do you know the Hospitalers?
Hospitaliers, yeah, they're a really good bunch of dudes, yeah. I've met quite a few of them, and I love watching them work. I love watching people operate who are truly at their peak. It's really enjoyable.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you for that question. And a couple of people asked this, was like, do you actually have military protection doing what you do when you're doing the evac?
No.
And then if you don't, then how do you protect yourself?
So we don't carry guns. We only have body armor, helmets.
Yeah.
Our protection is route planning, smart targets, and moving as quick as humanly possible. And we move remarkably quick. Like our transit times are, if you showed people some of the maps of the distances covered and the terrain covered, and you said, yeah, we do it in this time, they would be astounded that you could even do it during peacetime, let alone during a war zone. So our movement speed is our biggest asset.
Mick showed Andrew and I a couple of videos of the driving and under fire, and it's pretty, oh my god, style environment that he's operating in. So he's a very, very brave man with the rest of his team. It's just insane. Andrew's got a big female following as well as male, so there was a question of can I be rescued by Alligator Dundee? I can be a babusha.
You have to have the outfit and the headscarf. Otherwise it doesn't do it for me.
I'm sure they'll dress however you want, my friends. Like there was a lot of love for the look. And also this question came up repeatedly. And it might not be for now, but it can be for the future. But there was a desire for you two to have an arm wrestle.
I got destroyed. I got absolutely destroyed. I think Alex recorded it, but it wasn't even close.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We'll do it for breakfast. I'll let you win it, so.
We might do, his arms are about the same size as my body, so I don't necessarily think this is a fair competition. Let's see what's people are. Just see if I can grab any more here. I got one more. Go for it, buddy.
What is the thing that you do for your downtime? How do you relax after coming back off the front?
Try and sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep is the biggest thing. But normally when the boys are together, we're always up to shenanigans. Like always. Like there's always some sort of like scheme or prank or something. And it's something that helps burn off the energy. Jokes, more offensive the better sometimes. But having a good team of mates around you is paramount to mental health. On a personal level, I find that the act of what I'm doing far outweighs any suffering I have, and that helps me. It's something that I think which is why I go back to gratitude so much, is that if you truly understand what people are grateful for, the act of risking your life is insignificant in regards to you get to give them theirs. You risk your life, and it's only a risk. I say small risk. Other people might disagree, but you have a risk to your life, but you get to provide someone theirs, and you get to provide not just the individual's life or the people that are with them, but their family, their friends, and that's something that far outweighs any trauma you could possibly have. So at least touch wood so far.
Absolutely perfect answer.
And that's an unbelievable. It's almost like we can guarantee you this is not scripted.
Yeah. There's nothing.
Does not know the questions.
No, he doesn't. We don't write them down or anything. Well, this has been. You got.
What about
now we got to do the weather report, and then we'll likely send it off for the day, and we're gonna go eat some breakfast.
Andrew, this is an important section, isn't it? You know, this is an important section. So,
because the reason why we do it is because during my war stream, I play the Russian state media and shit on it. And there's a segment in which they go, "We need the weather report," and they go, "Cloudy, sunny," and then they do propaganda, and it's just nothing but, and it's hilarious. Maybe bring an umbrella.
Hi, Mars. So, in the Kyiv Oblast today compared to yesterday, Andrew, how was yesterday morning?
It was raining, it was thundering, storming. Now we got, dude.
Look at this. We're 8:44 in the morning. It's already 67 Fahrenheit here, and it is maintaining this conditions at least through to mid-afternoon. We're looking, it's going to get a bit cloudy towards 3 to 5 o'clock, but we will have highs of 78 Fahrenheit. And then sadly, there is going to be cloud later on, but that'll be good because it'll make it easier for us to go to sleep, won't it?
Yes. Oh, I won't be getting any sleep today, I don't think.
Not with the amount of beers that you've been donated, you won't be, my friend.
All right, so final thoughts, Mick. Any final words you would like to say to the audience that tuned in on the live stream and now on this video?
Look at yourself, look at your loved ones, be grateful for your time with them, enjoy what you have, and contribute to humanity. You don't have to save the world, but you should always be looking beyond yourself. You should always be looking to contribute positively to those around you. More so when they don't know you and you don't know them. Expect nothing. Give what you can. And help make your community a better place.
That's it. That's
just everyone be more like Mick.
Yeah.
Please.
Be better than me.
Ooh.
Be much better than me.
And be better.
I don't look at what I do as anything that's like out there. I think that in our own ways we've all got something that we can do. And it may not be what I do, it may not be what you do, it may not be what you do. But there certainly is things that you can do that I can't. And you should take those opportunities and grab them with both hands and be joyous for what you have. It doesn't matter what you have. I've gone from the bottom to the top and in between all of it. And being grateful what you can do for others it far outweighs anything financial or physical you could possibly own.
And with that, we're going to end it for the day. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in, watching the live stream, and then also the video here. Go to Mercado Media YouTube channel, leave a like, subscribe. We had an amazing, over an hour-long conversation before the stream had cut, but this is obviously the next best thing we can do. One last thing, how can they find you on social media? Aussie.alligator.dundee.
It's on Instagram, AUSSIE.alligator, ALLIGATOR.Dundee, DUNDEE.
Perfect. All right, I will post the link to his Instagram in the description of the video for the stream, the war stream, and then I'll also put it back on our full conversation that we had. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
In terms of the good morning Kyiv, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. We're still live. We're kicking, rocking, and rolling. But that was the ending to the morning stream this morning. If you want to watch the full hour-long conversation, again, you got to watch the vlogs. You got content to watch, y'all. I'm putting content out like crazy. Okay, one part of me, I'm kind of excited to get back home, to get back to our 2,000 to 3,000 viewers that we were having at the certain time. But honestly, I'm really learning who's the supportive Mercado Media audience here. It doesn't even matter because I'm just trying new things out here. I'm vlogging, doing a morning show. We're just trying some new shit. I tried a new tried a new thumbnail tonight for the war stream. If you guys didn't notice, it looks a little different because I can't just have a map on there every time. Like it works well for views, but honestly, like I want to put some pictures of the Ukrainian soldiers on there and try some different things. So I don't even care. We're trying new shit here, and it's going great. So that is the ending. Please go and check out the full conversation. It was over an hour before it cut. Like it's right here. All right, over an hour, and we got also a good little Good Morning Kyiv thumbnail. But if you want to listen to his full experience, please after the stream, vlogs, and then the rest of the Good Morning Kyiv stream from today. All right, let's get to the news and events now of the day and here in Ukraine. Again, I'm reporting live from Kyiv. We have been here since last week, and I'm here for another week. And I'm here until Saturday. And then I got to head home. Got things to do at home. I got to make sure my truck is still in the parking lot of my apartment. I haven't had anybody even go and check on that thing. I don't really talk to. I'm not really close to my family, so I guess I could ask my aunt or someone to go and check on my vehicle, but I have no idea that situation. I have no idea what's going on there. So I got to get back home, and obviously I only brought enough clothes to last 10 days. Obviously I could get more, but I need to get back home, and then I'm trying to get on the next convoy or the following one. So if you guys want to assist with that, I got to pull it up here. And I talked to Dimitri. People are having issues with the link to the NAFO campaign, the new truck, because we're on our third one, and we're like well on our way into our third truck now, nearly 5,000 euro now. So go to the link is in the description of the video. It's the first thing you can find. It's a patch campaign now. So the dog tags will be sent out to everybody that participated in our first two vehicles. They should be rolling out here at the end of this month, Dimitri said. And then now we're doing a patch campaign. There's the Mercado Media patch that we got, the Orc Hunters patch, which is going to be awesome because we went from dog tags to patches. And then we got I got to see, does this work now? He said he was going to work on it today. Let me check for y'all. Let me check. Let me just do that. Blah, blah, blah. 7 donations. Oh, they must have fixed it. Oh, there it works now. Yep, this page didn't even come up before. Yeah, so if you're having issues with it, if you're having problems, it is now fixed. I think it's because they had carried over some of the last fundraiser over to this one. Because, yeah, it's all right. So it works now. So if you guys want a patch, look at it's 100 euro for a patch, 2 patches. Like you can get multiple. You can get a Ukrainian unit patch on there, which is, in order to get those, you got to either come here yourself, right? That's an expensive journey. And it's quite a journey to come and get a Ukrainian patch, or you can contribute to the NAFO 69th Brigade fundraiser so we can get this third truck fundraised. And you can get it. They got videos on there. There's an example of the trucks, but obviously, we did our own vlog I did the whole vlog today, posted of my journey here from Minnesota. And then we also did the video of the handoff to the soldiers, which was like a movie damn near. Like the level of quality that I got a new editor too, by the way. His name's Mike, and he's solid, and he's going to be our editor now. And I'm going to pay him to edit videos and vlogs whenever I need, even if it's not related to Ukraine. He's just so good. And if you guys watch that video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like that's some shit I haven't even had quality like that in terms of a video before, of what Mike did here with the music and like the camera cuts, and he was just super, super good. Like it was probably the best video I've put on my channel, honestly. So you guys should definitely go and check that out. So let's get into the news now and events. The link to the NAFO campaign is in the description. Let's get that third truck fundraised. I can probably drop 400 into it tonight, honestly. Let me see, because we had an amazing community support last night. Yeah. Oh, easily. Yeah, easily. I'm gonna put 400 into it tonight, and that total will be put up. So join in me in putting money into that campaign so you can get that third truck, and then maybe I can be a part of that convoy. It might not be quick enough because the next convoy is literally in August. Maybe we can. We'd have to do it in the next couple of days. We would literally have to raise it in like the next day or two, honestly, to be able to get it fundraised and ready. But even then, it might be pushing it. But who knows? Maybe we can get it done. So news and events now coming out of Ukraine. Russian forces shell Ukraine's Sumy region as Kyiv claims advances in the south, which is really good news. Russian shelling targeted border areas in the Sumy province in Ukraine's northeast, causing multiple explosions. Local officials said on July 15th, as Kyiv claimed its troops were advancing against the invading forces in the country's south. No casualties were reported from the latest Russian strikes in Sumy, but the regional military administration said several residential buildings and agricultural equipment were damaged in the attack. You know, Russians are terrorists. They're going to maximize terror, farmland, civilians, like Starsky we mentioned. We were on the Shills earlier. A shout out to the Shills stream. And he had talked about the last couple nights. We haven't had any air raids, thankfully. We've actually got a full night's sleep without air raid alarms going off. That obviously could change at any moment, but it's been a couple days since the last attack here in Kyiv. I posted the photos on my Instagram. One of the Sahed drones unfortunately hit a residential building and killed one individual. Right? I posted the images of the hole in the building, and it's just, it's horrible, right? You walk around here, and I'm also on my beautiful Sony camera. I'm doing I'm doing a different type of vlog where I'm just kind of gonna do Kyiv with no commentary, and it's just gonna be 4K cinematic video on that camera, just of the buildings, you know, life happening, and I'm not even going to talk over it. And you might hear my voice in the back, you know, just because I talk, but I don't. It's going to have no narration over it. It's just going to be a vlog of just Kyiv, of like things here, like as much as I can get to, and it's going to be awesome. So. All right, back to this. The attack by various types of weapons caused dozens of explosives, damaging 2 private houses in the Novo Soblotsk area and destroying 2 harvesters and 2 tractors in the Khotin rural settlement, the military administration had said. 3 residential buildings were damaged in the Serbinto-Botsk area, it added. Sumy province, which borders Russia, frequently comes under Russian strikes. 3 people were killed and 21 others were wounded in a drone strike on the namesake provincial capital, Sumy, on July 4th. Regional authorities have said they were considering a plan to resettle some 12,000 residents from the border areas, right? Because that's like here, pull it up. Sumy region's up here in the northeast, right up by Russia. And the Russians never took the city. That was like one of the concerns. Kharkiv, God, come on, what's going on? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, computer? My touchscreen just being an asshole right now. There we go. So here's Sumy, right? The Sumy region. Russians never got there, but it was a like early concern back in last year in the early days. But obviously that was right on the Russian border, and a lot of residents and civilians had evacuated from the city. So they're trying to, you know, there's no Russians around there right now. The Russians never made it there. The Ukrainians pushed them out of the whole northern Ukraine early last year, like pretty quick. And now obviously the Russians are in the south and in the east, but they're trying to resettle Ukrainians up in that city. The General Staff of the Armed Forces said in the evening summary on the 14th that the enemy carried out 43 airstrikes and launched 17 attacks from rocket salvos. It said the Russian military would continue to focus its main efforts on areas around Kupiansk, Liman, Bakhmut, Advidka, and Marinka. About 20 combat clashes took place during the day. And then also today, President Zelensky met with the South Korean president, and they had talks, and we'll pull that up here in a second because I honestly forgot to, but it just came into my brain now. Ukraine war latest, all right, some more news. Could be good news. U.S. close to making decisions on ATACMS from Kyiv, which is obviously going to be huge. The rumor mill for ATACMS started before I even left for Ukraine. So the fact that, I mean, we're getting it more now, this is kind of like the process. Like it's a rumor, and it's just kind of like, oh, they might, no, it goes like this. It's not happening to, oh, it might happen. The senators are in Biden's ear or whatever. And then it's like, oh, now the decisions are like the process of getting them, and the talks are being made. And then eventually Ukraine will get them. It's just such an annoying process, right? To get weapon systems here. I mean, Ukraine's almost, how many Russians have been liquidated now here? Oh, where's the, oh dear. Did I close the Kyiv Independent one? Maybe they're getting to 250,000, maybe they get the ATACMS. They unlock the ATACMS at 250,000 Russians. Yeah, 237,000. Maybe when they get to 250, that ATACMS will be announced. We'll see. That's just how it's been working, unfortunately. Let's read the article. President Office head Andriy Yermak told journalists on the 14th that the U.S. is very close to deciding whether to provide Ukraine with long-range ATACMS missiles, which obviously they need that. They need that now. According to Yermak, can you guys read that? I can zoom in a little bit more for, there we go. That's probably a lot better. Okay. I'm here, right here. According to Yermak, he's in good contact with the U.S. National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, and is well aware of the decision-making process. President Vladimir Zelensky discussed the provision of ATACMS with his American counterpart at the Vilnius summit on the 12th. There are such conversations, but no decision on the issue of ATACMS yet, Zelensky said at the press conference. Conversations are great, and they lead to the decision, but obviously there's no announcement that it's happening yet. It's in the process, but every single weapon system that has been sent to Ukraine from the US, this is the same process. It always goes from no to rumors of it maybe happening to, okay, there's conversations, and then it happens. So we're in like the conversation mode right now of ATACMS, which again will be very, very good. ATACMS have a range of 300 miles. There's 300 kilometers. What is it? Oh man, I've been in Europe for too long now. I'm getting miles and kilometers mixed. ATACMS range. My bad. Let me look this up for you really quick. 190 miles. So holy fuck, I was off. So 190 miles. That'd be like what? That's like 300. That is 300 kilometers, right? In km. Little under 300 kilometers. Yeah. Okay. Oof. All right. I knew the 300 number was correct somehow, but I was off there. So 190 miles, a little under 200 miles, and 300 kilometers. Okay, which that means, and I've already done the measurement here when I was back home, and I had our measurement system in my brain. Here's Kherson, right? If the Ukrainians put ATACMS in Kherson, for example, they can literally hit all the way to like right there, then in the Black Sea, which covers all of Crimea. They can hit everything in Crimea. And even from Kherson, they got to get to the other side of the river, which they're working on it. But as soon as they get to oh goodness, zoom in here. As soon as they get to Olechki, for example, they'd be able to even hit the Kerch Bridge. Right, that's within distance. From Kherson, the Kerch Bridge is not within the ATACMS range. But when they get to the other side of that river, and it's not if, it's when, then they would be able to hit this bridge if they so choose to, if that's going to be one of the targets, you know what I mean? But it's just give you an idea of how effective these ATACMS will be when Ukraine gets them. Okay, they will be able to hit all of Crimea, and that's just obviously Crimea. I mean, from Zaporizhia back here, they'd be able to hit everything. They'd be able to hit all of this. That's all within range. Like literally everywhere in the Russian occupied space, if Ukraine gets ATACMS, is going to be able to be targeted by that thing. The GMLRS, it's been solid. They've been using it, but it is very limited in range to be able to attack Russian bases. So that's going to be good. On July 12th, U.S. President Joe Biden confirmed that Washington was considering supplying the long-range requested missiles to Ukraine. So Biden himself, let's click this. This is posted on the 13th, which was 3 days ago. So let me go here. He said, we're working on it. Interesting. So they went from no to we're working on that. And there's a quote from Joe Biden, President of the United States himself. The Army Tactical Missile System, or ATACMS, is a long-range guided cruise missile with a range of over 300 kilometers. That's how the military videos go. Ukraine defense officials believe the weapons are needed in order for the counteroffensive to breach entrenched Russian defenses. Yeah, like I mentioned, it would literally, they'd be able to hit everywhere with it and not even have to put it in the occupied territory. They could leave it in their own liberated space and be able to hit all of Crimea, including part of the Black Sea. That's why the Russians have their ships away from that's why the Russians don't even have their ships up on the Black Sea coast. They have them like out here, you know, like way out here, because they know damn well as soon as Ukraine gets those ATACMS that the shoreline is within range. So that's why they don't even have them close. Other news, Ukraine war latest, defense secretary to quit. Wagner troops cross border to Belarus, says Kyiv. A Russian commander was sacked for a scathing attack on his military leaders, which we went into yesterday. Solyevov, the top Russian propagandist, was crying about the fact that one of the commanders was revealing the truths of the failures of the Russian military and how problematic it's been. Well, I don't even know. I don't even know if he's cooking still. I don't know if he's alive still. Likely not. Likely got a window or a T treatment. But it's becoming very much of a shit show on the Russian side. It's honestly, They're honestly just waiting for the U.S. elections. At this point, full on, like Robert F. Kennedy's taken over, Tucker Carlson's taken over for the Russians. Like, we're having Americans that are just junk taking over for, I mean, obviously Elon Musk's platform on Twitter too. They have taken over for the Russians. Like, they've taken it from here essentially, because on the Russian side of things in Ukraine, there's just nothing but a terrorism being had, and their propaganda, even their own propagandists have no answer for the failures here. But it seems that American propagandists are taking the lead from the Russians. So that's awesome. Not awesome, but it's just the reality of it. What you need to know about Biden's IRR executive order. People were freaking out. They're propagandizing this already as if the U.S. is sending troops to Ukraine for some reason, which is not happening. But here's what you need to know about the IRR, which that is, I mean, honestly, seeing that, and that was always a concern. It's kind of like a joke in the U.S. Army, like, oh, you could be, if World War III happens, when you get out of the military, you're put into the inactive ready reserve, which essentially is you're out of the military, but they can call you back up off the couch. Like, Uncle Sam still has you within arm's reach. You're good. You don't have to drill anymore. You don't have to put the uniform on. You can kind of work on getting settled into your life. But when you're in that IRR window, the Uncle Sam can pick you back up and put you back in just like that. You know what I mean? No problem. Thankfully, I got my DD-214 and I'm out completely. It can't pull me back. It can't pull me back in, thankfully. So let's read this from Task and Purpose, and they're going to clear up what that executive order meant. It's time to clear up some confusion about President Joe Biden's recent executive order for Operation Atlantic Resolve. The president is not deploying more troops to Europe yet, nor has he called up anyone from the IRR. The executive order allows the Defense Department to mobilize troops from the Select Reserve and the Individual Ready Reserve for operations in Europe. So it's essentially like giving the gateway to do so if it's needed. You know what I mean? It's like a preemptive move to where if it needs to happen, now, I mean, the order is there and it can be carried out. Members of the Individual Ready Reserve have left active duty and they do not drill, but still have time on their obligation to serve. Like I mentioned to you guys, like, you're out, but you're not out in a sense. Like, you could start working on your life and getting out of the military, but at any moment, if, like, say America came under attack, for example, or, World War III, you're getting pulled back in. Since the executive order was released on Thursday, many social media users have assumed Biden is mobilizing hundreds, if not thousands, of members of the Individual Ready Reserve for combat deployments to Europe. The feeling of unease is especially palpable among veterans who have recently left active duty and would still have time remaining on their 8-year military service obligation, which is how it works. When you join the U.S. military, I don't know, you that served in the 80s or whatever, that did like whatever 2 years, 3 years, contracts are 8 years. Doesn't matter if you spend it all active duty or you do it reserves. Your first contract, when you sign that dotted line to Uncle Sam, he owns it for 8 years. 8 years. You're in there, okay? And you can do that. You can break it up too. You can even plan it out how you want. You can do 4 years active duty. You can do then you got to do 4 years of reserves. Or a National Guard. You can even go into the National Guard if you want to, but you have to do 8 years. Or you can do 8 years of active duty. You want to spend that time. You have like 10 years of your life on year to give. But at that point, if you're going to do 8 years of active duty, you're likely going to do the 15 years to get that pension money. Likely you're going to stay in a little longer. Or you can do the 8-year contract to do all of it in the reserves. So you can be a full-time you can be a reservist for 8 years, but you're doing 8 years. Say you sign a 4x2 contract, which is 4 years active duty, 2 years in the reserves, and then 2 years inactive, which is what I did. I did the no, I didn't. Nope, I did the full. I got out in 2016 in the active duty. Yeah, then I was in the reserves for 4 years. So I did my full 8, and then I did an 8x2. I think I got fucked because I was in the IRR from 2020 to 2022. Obviously didn't have to go back in. I've been with you guys for from that time. I had my Mercado Media cooking, but at any point though, that's why I was like I didn't do anything like during the riots and everything. Like I didn't go in buildings. Like I didn't do anything that was going to put me in a situation because Uncle Sam at any point could have been, got him. He's back. You know what I mean? I was like kind of like, I got to be careful. But now I'm out. I got my DD-214 and everything. We're good to go. However, the executive order is an administrative action and no one has been tasked to deploy yet, said Air Force Brigadier General Patrick Ryder in a Pentagon press brief. In essence, the executive order places caps on the type of reserve component forces that could deploy to Europe if needed. Now, it's another thing to note that it's not everyone in the IRR. It depends on your job. Depends on your MOS. Like it's not going to be like just randoms getting pulled out of the IRR. It's going to be MOS based, which is your job, right? Your military occupational service. So it's not just 450 just random IRR. It's specific, and that's what this executive order lays out. Up to 3,000 troops, of which no more than 450 can come from the individual ready reserve. So only 450 is going to get pulled out of that. And again, the 3,000, so what would that be? 2,550, right? Yep, 2,550 will come from the reserves that actively drill. So they 1 week in a month, 2 weeks out of the year. And that's what I did after I got out of active duty. You got to go to your drill unit and show up. You got to report, and you're there Saturday and Sunday, Friday sometimes. Yeah, sometimes if there's like shit you got to do for the full weekend, NCOs, you got to go and get there by like Friday night sometimes to get ready and plan for do your soldier training for the weekend, get that planned. But that happens all the time. Reservists and National Guard get called up to active duty all the time. They get sent anytime they do have to go, and anytime you're in the military longer than the weekend, you get orders and you're signed on to active duty. Like even just going to the 2 weeks of training that you got to do every year, because you go somewhere in the reserves, for 2 weeks or longer, sometimes a month, depending on if you're doing NTC, which is the National Training Center in California, or JRTC in Louisiana. I mean, you're put on active duty orders at that point, and then when you're done, the orders expire, and then you go back into the reserve. So it happens all the time, especially reserve units that go and get sent to Europe for training, or obviously in the Middle East that we were in for 20 years. Tons of reservists went, tons of National Guard units went. Minnesota National Guard is one of the most famous National Guard units. I know we active duty, we shit on the National Guard often, but they were very effective in the Middle East. Lots of National Guard and reservists did amazing work for the United States in the Middle East. And then when that happens, they're not a reservist at that point. They're active duty, and then they come back, and then they go back into reserve mode. So it's nothing strange or new. It's just the announcement of the 450 IRR, which in the grand scheme of things, that 450 number is like the size of 2 companies. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not even that much. It's not even that big of a deal. It doesn't mean, for example, that 3,000 reservists will be called up or 450 IRR will be called up. It just means those are the parameters in which the DoD can use. So basically laying out a guideline, like here is the maximum amount of soldiers that are going to be called up, but it doesn't mean that that's the number that it's going to be. The executive order derives its authority in part from Title 10 of U.S. Code, the compilation of federal statutes which, if fully implemented, authorizes up to 200,000 reservists to be mobilized at any one time, of which up to 30,000 can be from the individual ready reserve. The President's executive order, however, limits the call to up to 3,000 selected reserve, of whom no more than 450 can be from the IRR. It's simply a proportional percentage of the statute. There isn't an intent to necessarily use that authority. Rather, it simply provides force management flexibility to sustain current operations. So again, it just gives them parameters. It's just the limit, because there's always an order. It's not a free-for-all in the military, as much as propagandists like you to think that they're just doing anything out here. There's really standards and procedures and things. Propagandists over the last few years have done unfortunately a good job of making it like there's a big cabal in the US government and there's this unknown thing, and it's just not true. The Army and Air Force have identified several types of billets that the executive order gives them the authority to fill, including contracting, military police, dental support, human resources, finance, and possibly replacement of combat forces, Patrick Ryder said. By designating Operation Atlantic Resolve as a contingency operation, Biden's executive order also ensures that any members of the Select or Individual Ready Reserve who are eventually deployed to Europe receive the same benefits as active duty troops, which is huge. That's very important. So look at that. So those that, if they get called up, there's 450 IRR. It's essentially ensuring that, you know, they're getting the opportunity to get the SGLI, I mean, you can get school benefits for going into active duty for a bit. I mean, not a whole lot, as much as you would be for going full-time active duty, but you'll still get some. The life insurance, which is the SGLI, you can get up to $400,000 in life insurance. Just post 9/11 GI Bill, like I mentioned, and just tons of other benefits while they're called up, which is obviously important. So they need that. The Defense Department called up thousands of members from the Individual Ready Reserve during the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. The process was rocky at first. In January 2005, the Army reported that half of the Individual Ready Reserve members mobilized had asked for a delay or exemption for their orders, and hundreds of others just simply failed to show up at deployment stations. I believe it. I'm telling you, when you're like, dude, you put your time in and then you're out. It's like, fuck, dude, who'd want to be called back? Oh my God. That's why I'm so glad I'm out and I got my DD-214 because, bro, fuck that. I got knee problems now. Like, it'd be like literally getting out of the military and you're sitting on the couch and like you're gaining some weight. Maybe you got some knee issues and back problems from when you served, and then you got to go back in. That would be fucking, that would suck so hard. Critics describe the mobilization of the IRR members of the military's use of stop loss to prevent members from separating as constituting a backdoor draft, right? So like making it, they're just putting the standards in place, making it so the first time that we tried this in 2005, obviously it was a shit show, and they're making it better for the next time if it needs to happen. As of right now, no specific units have been identified or tasked to deploy to Europe per the president's executive order. Army Lieutenant General Douglas A. Sims II, Director of Operations for the Joint Chiefs of Staff, told reporters, "These are not additional forces. These are forces that will augment what we already have there." So that makes perfect sense, because every time the reserves or even National Guard get deployed, I mean, besides like big National Guard units like the Minnesota National Guard, for example, the Red Bulls, I mean, they sustain themselves, but most of the time when reserves get deployed, they are attached to an active duty unit that's already there, and they're there to support and sustain. Like even a support unit like ours. Like I was in the 539th Transportation Company. We're not a combat unit. We were a support unit. We were a logistics unit. But even then, I mean, we had reservists attached to us from, I don't even know where they were. They're from Texas, Tennessee. They weren't in Alaska with us. They weren't active duty, but we needed air conditioner repairmen. We needed cooks. We needed just random jobs that the reserves have, like a forklift driver, for example. That's a reserve job. And unless you got a port tasking, but the forklift driver and like those that move the big connexes, that's literally a reserve job. I don't even know if it's offered to active duty, but there's certain jobs in the U.S. Army that are only available to reservists. There's an example over time where we may have had someone from an active component organization doing something. That job now under these authorities may be something that a reserve component unit may be able to do. So just an outline. There's no units even mentioned. There's no units going right now. It's not even happening in terms of this like soldiers are going. It's just laying out the foundation, giving the standards, putting them in place, ensuring that the IRR soldiers have benefits. So if it does happen, that they're not going to be, it's on a shit show like the last time. But of course, as usual, fucking one of the presidential campaign presidential candidates that's running, and he's getting a big platform from tons of social media propagandists and podcasts, because they're trying to do this, the alternative option to Biden and Trump, obviously, because I mean that's Biden and Trump 2.0 is going to be a shit show if that's what's going to be. But this is the third piece of shit option, in my opinion, which is Robert F. Kennedy. And he writes, hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian youth have died already because of Americans' foreign policy establishment. So right off the bat, it's lies, right? And this is the third option, which is seemingly becoming a mainstream choice now for conspiracy people. Like I've seen so many, and we'll see if it's true when a push comes to shove. And honestly, this move might backfire on MAGA and conservatives, because they're like, oh wow, I'm going to vote for our Robert F. Kennedy now. And honestly, it's looking like it's going to split the vote between Trump and RFK. It's going to be interesting because so many Trump loyalists that in 2016 to 2020, 2022 are literally like Robert F. Kennedy fans now, all of them. And it's going to be a shit show. And I already predict that they're going to blame election fraud already again, even though that they're already setting up the rift in the MAGA crowd already with this clown running as president. So obviously that's a lie. Hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian youth died, lies. And then American foreign policy establishment manipulated their country into a war to fulfill vain plus geopolitical fantasy. Listen to this clown, you guys. And unfortunately, you could be like, well, he's just just words. But unfortunately, he's running as president, and he's being platformed by some of the biggest podcasts and people that watch. Like his words are getting viewed and supported by millions in the United States. And that's just the shit we're in right now. Now, rather than acknowledge failure, Biden administration prepares to sacrifice American lives too, which he was talking about the article we just read that I went into. So just lies on top of lies here in the first tweet. Meanwhile, and then this is just a classic, just an absolute classic move here. They'll do the what about our own cities, but then every time that the United States politicians vote to make our cities better, these same people will cry socialism or communism. Like anytime a bill is drafted for veterans or for cleaning up our cities or drug, like we mentioned last night, I talked about recovery, addicts and homeless. It's always from the same people that will do this and say, our cities are crumbling, nobody cares about America, blah, 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 blah. They will literally every time vote to not support Americans, and they will vote to support corporations and tax breaks for the rich every single time. And this is coming from someone that was conservative. I was Republican, and I was blind to all of this until recently in the last few years. So they will always do this, and don't fall for it. Meanwhile, our cities decay, our infrastructure falls apart, our middle class hollows out, crime soars, chronic disease and addiction run rampant. There you go, like I just mentioned. We can heal all of this if we can try, but not if we pour our resources into foreign adventures, you guys. Foreign adventures. Biden has lost his way. He's out of touch with the real needs and priorities of the American people. Do you care more about global military dominance, or would you like to rebuild our prosperity from the inside out? It's like, there's nothing there to even analyze. It's just a nonsensical argument. There's nothing there that you can get mad and seethe about it and be like, oh, he's wrong this, he's wrong that, but the whole base of his argument is wrong. The whole foundation of his entire tweet here and what he's trying to say is just fundamentally incorrect. Between the hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian youth dying, the fact he's saying that this is an American foreign policy adventure, the way he writes it. And there's no words of Russia's actions here. There's no words of the Russians invaded Ukraine and started this entire thing themselves because they wanted to make the Soviet Union great again. They wanted to make the Soviet Union a thing again. They wanted to invade. They've been invading their neighbor countries since I was a kid in Chechnya. That was 1999. I didn't know what the fuck that meant as I was a kid, but 99, what was it? I was 6 years old when that happened. And then 2008, I was a freshman in high school in Georgia. And now here I am and talking in Ukraine to you guys while Russia's invading Ukraine. It's just a clown. Absolute clown, Robert F. Kennedy is. And they keep platforming him on social media. I'm glad this was written. Russia attacked Ukraine. They were responsible for massive loss of life. Ukraine was never a threat and surrendered their nuclear arms under the Budapest Accord. Facts. It's like even like recorded history. It's just too easy now to go and do your own looking it up. And we talk about Budapest Memorandum. We denuked Ukraine for security guarantees because in the 90s we were all about peace on earth shit. Taking nukes away obviously is less nukes in the world type, you know what I mean? Peace on earth in the 90s. And that backfired significantly for Ukraine, obviously, because here we are, Ukraine's without nukes, and Russia decided to invade, even though they signed that memorandum saying that they would come to Ukraine's aid if any country invaded them due to denuking them. And then Russia was the country that invaded. We're not going to forget that Russia invaded Ukraine. Like, that's immediately. As soon as this guy that, which is so, another thing is he is just hard to listen to. You know, he's got the thing going on, all power to him with that, you know, side with his throat, whatever, all power to him getting over that and recovering from that. But the same people that shit on Biden for being old and falling and tripping and got evil are completely ignoring that here for Robert F. Kennedy. It's just a complete shit show. But again, I'm not really concerned because I believe it's going to rift the conspiratorial MAGA type of crowd that would vote for Trump. They're going to be splitting that base. But again, just wait. They're going to blame election fraud when both of them lose. Right? It's just taking votes away from Trump. Honestly, it's not. People are going to be starting to vote for him now, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see what comes of that. So that's Robert F. Kennedy. That's your cope of the day. Do not even consider this fucking clown as the president of the United States. You absolutely do not. He is a full-on Russian asset at this point. His campaign kicked off. He's done interviews with the pedophile Scott Ritter. From the old UN weapons inspector. He had him on his podcast, and he's talked with them and platformed Scott Ritter. He's showed up on Russian, which Scott Ritter is a popular Russian Today, Russia TV talk show person. He's on there constantly. Just don't even consider Robert F. Kennedy. If you're going to vote for Robert F. Kennedy, you're voting for a Russian asset as in the United States, right? And we're having a problem with that. War Diary Day 506, Orange Hats in the chat from John Sweeney. Putin is weaker than we think.
War Diary Day 506 of Russia's war against Ukraine. I love this mural. It's hard to see, but the head of the snake is that of Vladimir Putin. And yes, he's getting his head cut off. So, on that theme, what's happening with the aftermath of the Prigozhin mutiny is really weird. Putin gave an interview to Kommersant, the Russian paper, in which he set out that he'd asked Prigozhin to what were the conditions which Prigozhin would come back into the war. And the way the journalists tell the story, like Prigozhin was talking to Putin as a kind of an equal, not as a servant and his master. And by the way, this is hard to understand, but what it looks like is that Putin has lost the plot. And that in releasing this interview, in telling the journalists what's going on, he's made a massive tactical mistake, perhaps a strategic mistake, because what he's doing is he's telling the world that he doesn't actually know how to handle Prigozhin. Some of my friends are saying that Prigozhin might actually run against Putin for the presidential elections next year. I thought that was absurd, and I still think it unlikely. And I think it's very unlikely that Prigozhin will be allowed to win, and he may yet fall out of a window or drink the wrong kind of tea. But nevertheless, the fact that Putin is giving interviews, and these interviews set out his weakness in relationship to Prigozhin, that can't be good for his long-term grip on the Kremlin. Once again, Vladimir Putin is a fragile monster. Oh, and Vladimir Putin, do fuck off.
Fuck all the way off. All the way off, Vladimir Putin. Someone had sent me a video in my messenger from the gray zone, all right? And if you see the word gray zone, there's like two gray zones. Max Blumenthal's, his platform, which obviously is this leftist, tanky type platform that's honestly just fascist at this point. It's like, dude, we're in a time right now where it's like people that claim to be far left are actually far right. and people that are far right now are saying shit that far left people used to say. We are in a completely weird time right now, where like fascist commie hybrids are just taking over at this point, and the rest of us just got to fight against it. Honestly, it's fucking weird. It's so weird. Like, honestly, I'm getting confused because the tankies now sound literally like MAGA people, and the MAGA people literally sound like the 2016 snowflake fucking leftists. And I don't understand what is happening. We literally are in like a different world now. Like, we've flipped, but the extremes are flipping, but it's up to us that can see it for what it is to like fight against it, honestly. All right, some combat videos of the day. We chased the Russians on Ukrainian land. Battalion K2 Solidar Sevirts direction. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's pull this up. So this is the Solidar Sevirts direction over here. Okay, let's pull this up. Going over here. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my goodness. Work. Thank you. Okay, so Solidar Sevirts direction. This is to the north of Bakhmut. Haven't had too many territorial changes in terms of newly gained ground by the Ukrainians or Russians, so we don't need to do a map breakdown. We'll do one when there is some changes or things to report on in terms of Russians or Ukrainians gaining any ground. Nothing from the Russians, but if the Ukrainians do gain some ground, we'll talk about it. But this is the Solidar Sevirts direction to the north of Solidar from the K2 54th Brigade. In the newest video, we chased the Russians on Ukrainian land. Battalion K2 Solidar Sevirsk. Got Russians there. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Goodness. So what you're seeing is loitering munitions being dropped on Russian positions in the tree line. Wow. From the K2 54th Brigade, showing the successes of the Ukrainian drone army. If you guys could, please leave a like on the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new and tuned in. We're off on my time frames. I usually stream, well, when I'm back home in the US, we'll be back to our normal time frame at like 8:15 p.m. Eastern time, because that's like a perfect summary time for the day. But here in Ukraine, I got to go earlier. It's already 1:15 in the morning. But I can't stay up until 3 in the morning and do that stream. It worked great when I did do it, and we had the same viewers I always do. I know they're there, but I just can't. So thank you guys for everybody for tuning in to the time that
The viewers, and we still have the
oops. So let's get into it. We got a few more combat videos. Again, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Shout out to all the members in the chat. Make sure you join our Telegram channel. Join our Discord server. The links are in the description of the stream. That's like the community also. And also, really quick, before we go to the next combat video, I made a post today on my Instagram. I'm pushing this out as well because it's a really, and I post in the community tab here on YouTube on Mercado Media, and I always will, but I'm only limited to 5 pictures, you guys. I'm literally only limited to post. Why am I not showing up? And in the community media market, oh, it's because I have the translate on. That's funny. In the community tab, I can only post like 5 pictures at a time, right? But I post more on my Instagram, the Guru Merc. You can't miss me. Just type in Andrew Mercado on Instagram and it'll pop up immediately. Like I actually have a lot of followers on Instagram, so I'm going to start using it more. But I took photos at Hostomel, at the air base with operator Starsky. So there's the Antonov 225 in the hangar there. Sitting, it will fly again someday. It's sitting there right there. It's sitting like this now, but it will fly again, or a new one will fly. It's probably going to take some time. The thing's expensive as hell to build. It's the biggest plane there is. It's massive plane, massive plane, but it will take off. The Mira. And there's Max, the flashback. Am I covering his face? Let me make sure. I can just do this. I'll just hide myself. There's Max, the flashback, and operator Starsky. They showed us around Hostel. It's kind of a badass photo. Max is a man of little words in person, but when he writes his posts on YouTube, I mean, he's got some of the best writing there is on YouTube. So he was there, and it was just great, right? We got to drive an M113, which I posted a reel or a short of that rather already. So if you missed that as well, like if you've been missing content, I mean, it's all here for you. It's all posted. Here's that, right? Here's the photo, but here's me driving it. Oh, it was a blast. Oh, it was a blast indeed. So I drove the M113 around. That was awesome. Then there's me standing in the middle of where the Kyivites had put their vehicles at Hostomel and stole a bunch of GPU graphics cards, you know, personal items from houses. There was just a bunch of trash everywhere still, but the Ukrainians, after the Kyivites had put their vehicles there, decided to hit it with artillery and destroy literally everything. Everything was destroyed, and then they got what they deserved. So I'm standing on top of it in the middle of the rubble of the Kyiv vehicles at Hostomel, and there's a photo of the NAFO 69th convoy that I was a part of, and that was just a blast, right? And there's Max and operator Starsky, and we took a photo, and that was the example. If you listen to the Shill stream earlier, Alex had talked about the up-armored up armored civilian vehicles that have polymer paint and there's panels on the windows. That's a good example. That's the one that was given to Starsky's brigade, which is cool. And then there's just another picture of the destruction of the Kyiv vehicle area underneath one of the, they thought their vehicles are going to be safe under there, and actually they weren't safe at all. So they got destroyed. And then here's images of Bucha, which I shared. It's going to go in a video, I think, here coming up. I think, did I post in a video? Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I did. I got to check. But this is Bucha, the site of 9,000 war crimes by Russians, and they killed more than 1,400 civilians in under 33 days of occupation, rape, murder, torture, mass graves, not just humans, but also domesticated animals like their pets and their farm animals were all killed by Russians. And you guys know they're orcs, barbarians, just absolutely animals. It's just no other word to describe, but the Russian military is just scum of the earth. And they have a memorial now, and the whole Bucha is cleaned up. I know you guys might have seen images of Bucha last year, and I mean the civilians just dead in the road, lined up in the street, just executed. That is all cleaned up now. The streets are clean, buildings are being repaired, windows are replaced, brand new windows, and there's also a memorial now. It's only 500 names of the 1,400. There's likely going to be more memorials built, but this was literally built like a few weeks ago, actually. It was finalized, and so we were one of the first ones to see it. The other convoys weren't able to see it because it wasn't ready, but it's a whole park. It's a beautiful park, and there's just about 500 names here, and there's names of individuals between the ages of 5 years old. I saw it was like the youngest, and 100 years old. I saw ages, my age, the birth year of 1993, birth year of 2016, birth year of 1940 something, or 1930, no, 1932, I think was the oldest. I think I saw it, but it was everyone from a kid to a full life. Someone had lived at 100 years old, I saw on there. So just atrocities that Russia committed, but Ukraine and the city of Bucha built a memorial to always remember and never forget the Russian terrorism that is committed, and it's just sickening. You can check those photos out on my Instagram. I posted them, and more to come. All right, more combat videos from the Terra unit. We haven't seen a Terra Ops unit video in a while. The flank of Bakhmut, infantry battle in the trenches. They're a forward observer drone unit, and we've been literally watching them since day one. So here it is. Here's the latest video from them, from the Terra unit. Let's check it out.
Сейчас я поеду им псих, или что, пошли.
Terra Ops.
Вот он. 4:40. Здесь.
They got POV video now too.
Меня два комары атакуют на ходу. А у меня руки заняты, чтобы отбиться.
Said mosquitoes are attacking him. Golly. Loitering drone. Look at how good they are now too. Remember when they first started doing them and making them? Look at the quality of it now. You can see Ukraine just constantly innovating, even while in the middle of this invasion and this war. Like the loitering, the grenades that were dropped by the drones did not look like this at the start, but look at how advanced they are now already in this short amount of time.
Пацаны уже подошли к окопом. Тор, давай, там уже цели есть, давай веселее чуть.
Targets in the
Там
trench.
уже реально по нашим. Вот тут вот это вот наша позиция, вот. Вот здесь вот мы. Вот тут Ты говорил вчера?
Да. Вот это крайняя наша.
Да, вот тут уже наши вот зашли, и вот тут уже с этими в окопах ебаться.
So showing where the Russians are. There goes 2 grenades on them.
Перелет. Походу не детон.
Оба?
Да. Ты подготовь пока еще 2, а там глянем. Да, я там цели нашел, в принципе.
Good. So those 2 didn't go off, unfortunately. God dang, bro. Holy fuck, bro. Yeah, get out of there. Golly. You see how close that artillery was? That was literally in their trench that they're in. That was right across from them. That was very close. Oh my goodness. Literally, you can see right there. Right there, in their trench. Oh my goodness. No, that's artillery.
Парни!
Давай в блиндаж.
Парни, как вы? Хлопаки, что у вас?
Возвращайся. Старайся спасти его. Пока нихуя.
Трохи зацепило?
А?
Я пиздец, нормально?
Де? Хто?
Ну вы.
Ти в якому плані?
На контузии у него?
Та ні, ну понятно, що в'їбало.
У меня хуй, потому что я не в наушниках был.
Dang.
Раз только наушники. Появился.
А я без наушников вообще.
Man, they don't have ear. They need like Mick talked about today. They need ear protection, you guys. They don't have it like we did. Even the shitty 3M ear protection would probably be of use, but they have nothing. Like the guy, he didn't even know who he was talking to. He's concussed from the artillery.
Возвращай его.
Fuck, dude.
Ты как, Тарик? Подконтузило? В случае чего, пацаны, это связь с нами. Будем на коннекте. Сейчас я поеду им псих.
Now we're gonna go take revenge on them.
Початок штурмових дій. Піхота на БМП рухається до лінії переходу у наступ.
They're beginning the assault.
Вертольоти відпрацювали по ворожих позиціях з метою їх подавити. На відході відкидають теплові пастки, як протидія від ворожого ПВО. БМП формують бойовий порядок для наступу. Під час руху ведеться постійний вогонь по ворожим позиціям для неуможливлення застосування ворогами РПГ або птурів. Одна з БМП рухається на правий фланг, де за попередньою інформацією можуть знаходитися ворожі протитанкісти. Висаджується піхота та розгортається у бойовий порядок. Ворог веде неприцільний вогонь артилерією по наступаючій.
So that's the Ukrainian BMPs here and the Ukrainian troops. They got them all marked for you. So Ukrainian infantry and then their infantry fighting vehicles.
Піхоті та техніці. Піхота рухається вперед, ведучи постійний вогонь на подавлення по ворожим позиціям. Дійшли до першої лінії бліндажів. Проводять зачистку. Бій переноситься вглиб ворожих позицій. Штурмовики ведуть прицільний вогонь зі стрілецької зброї, застосовують гранати. В той час, як ворог стріляє по-сомалійськи, майже не цілячись. Такий вогонь є низькоефективним.
So he's saying that they're clearing the trenches, they're engaging with the Russians. The Russians are like shooting without even looking, like Kyivites do, type low efficiency, just blind fire shooting because they have no skills or proficiency at anything.
Майже не заповільняє просування штурмової групи вперед.
But it still slows the advance because bullets are coming. You know what I mean? It's blind fire. It's not accurate, but it's still like keeping the Ukrainian soldiers hunkered down and they can't advance as easily as they would like to.
Під натиском штурмової групи росіяни сховалися в бліндаж. З бліндажа вибігає один російський боєць без шолому. Намагається вести вогонь. Але автомат зразу клинить. Мабуть, за ним погано доглядали та рідко чистили.
So Russian runs out of the dugout. He tries to engage Ukrainian soldiers with the machine gun, but it's poorly kept and it misfires and malfunctions, and he's not able to use it.
Боєць повертається до бліндажа. Кидає автомат в свого союзника. Починається бійка. Стає зрозуміло, що цей боєць командир. Росіяни не дуже хочуть воювати. Не дуже хочуть покидати бліндаж, вступати в бій штурмовою групою. Командир викидає автомат з траншеї.
Look at the commander. The Russian commander doesn't even have a helmet on. Doesn't even have a cover. The Ukrainians are literally in the trench, just like what, 10, 15 meters away. Like you can look at the. Also, just look at the trash. Look at the squalor. They're literally living in trash, you guys. Just again, we call it out every time, but you can see the just disgusting living conditions that the Russians themselves put them in. That in this trench, it's just a big dump. Big old dump, and then they wonder why the machine gun isn't working. Dude walks out, he's obviously pissed at his own soldiers because the machine gun doesn't work, and he walks out without a helmet on.
Викидає автомат з траншеї.
Look at that. Yeah, go get mad, go get liquidated.
Сідає. Схоже на те, що він
Golly, what a
образився.
we pouts, bro. No way, dude. He's pouting. Bro. Second army of the world. Let's look at the way he. Oh my! He throws a temper tantrum. Watch one more time. One more time. Watch the commander at the top here of the screen. And he goes and sits down and is like, oh my fucking god, bro!
Сідає.
Wow.
Схоже на те, що він образився.
Well, the Ukrainians are literally like right there, firing at like this is in the middle of the firefight.
Але цього достатньо, щоб піхота ворога покинула бліндаж та вступила в бій. Мотивація відбувається шляхом виштовхування піхотинців з бліндажу.
Commander then comes back in after his little pout session, his little temper tantrum, and comes and kicks his infantry out of the dugout so he can go back in.
В наступному кадрі ми бачимо, що спроба контратакувати була невдала. Росіяни знову повертаються в бліндаж, ведучи хаотичний вогонь. Штурмова група продовжує просуватися. Перевіряє та зачищає захоплений бліндаж.
Ukrainians are able to capture one of the dugouts on the bottom of your screen here.
Закріплюються у траншеї.
There they come. Ukrainians are moving. Yeah, Ukrainians in multiple positions here. You got them underneath my camera, right here, this little T where the trench moves. And then you get Ukrainians in the southern part of the trench here. They're like moving in on the Russians right here.
Не витримавши натиску штурмовиків, ворог відступає.
Oh, they're trying to leave. Oh, they're trying to get up out of there. Uh-oh. They're trying to run. As usual. Yeah, you can see
Важко
the...
сказати, чи він переплутав, куди бігти, чи іде у контрнаступ.
What an idiot. Oh, he's gonna go right to the Ukrainians.
Ворожому
And...
піхотинцю пощастило. Вогонь штурмовиків пробив йому каску, він скидає її з голови та тікає.
Wow, he walked right towards the Ukrainians at the bottom there. One more time on that. So Russian soldier walks right towards the Ukrainians here. And it sounds like he got his helmet hit, but he was able to walk
Іде
away.
у контрнаступ.
Wow. What a shit show.
Ворожому піхотинцю пощастило. Вогонь штурмовиків пробив йому каску, він скидає її з голови та тікає.
So they hit his helmet, and he threw his helmet away and ran. He got lucky. For now.
Під постійним вогнем та натиском штурмової групи росіяни ховаються до бліндажу.
So half of the Russian assault group already escaped, and the other ones are stuck in there now.
Розуміючи, що чинити супротив немає сенсу. Штурмова група продовжує рух.
Assault group is moving up.
Веде прицільний вогонь. Знову застосовує гранати.
Grenade coming in. Look at the commander. Oh, what a puss. There goes the commander. That had a temper tantrum. You can tell because he's got no Kevlar on or a weapon.
Росіяни починають по одному вибігати із бліндажу.
He literally
Першого
ran. What a fucking...
Це якраз і є їхній командир.
They're trying to run. The commander just left the infantry behind right there.
Другій групі втікачів щастить вже менше, тому що їхній шлях відступу вже знаходиться під вогневим контролем штурмовиків.
No, they're not gonna make it. Your opportunity to run away is expired.
Один за одним вони продовжують намагатися відступити.
One by one, they're trying to run.
Але це виходить в них край погано. Мабуть, кращим варіантом було б для них здатися. Один з піхотинців заблукав та почав відступати не в тому напрямку.
And that infantryman from the Russians walked right into the Ukrainians again and was destroyed, liquidated.
Для нього це була фатальна помилка.
Dead. Bro, they like...
На цьому кадрі ворожа артилерія веде вогонь по штурмовикам, ігноруючи той факт, що на позиціях все ще лишаються російські солдати. Але жоден боєць із штурмової групи не постраждав, тому що всі знаходилися в укритті. Росіяни, що залишилися в бліндажі, по одному здаються. Всі, хто склав зброю, зняв броню та виходить з піднятими руками, мають таку можливість.
So they got everyone who came out surrendered, and now they're gonna go clear the. They had the opportunity to surrender, and that was that. Now they're gonna go and clear the position. And they come out with their hands
З
up.
бліндажу іде дим. Скоріш за все, там розпочалася пожежа.
Most likely they started a fire in there because of all the trash. You can see it, you guys. Look at the squalor everywhere. Trash here, trash there. Just trash. Just trailer dumpster military that the Russians are. And this is the people that, this is, I mean, honestly, maybe that's why conspiracy theorists and propagandists don't ever talk about the Russians, because it would be embarrassing to do so, because all they do is attack the people that support Ukraine and attack the aid to Ukraine, because they can't just like, the only one I ever see doing it is Jackson Hinkle, but he just simps for Putin. But the Russian military is fucking embarrassing, and it's dog shit, and it's literal trash, orc fucking subhuman garbage that is just disgusting, dude. Not even, they should not even be put on this, on the any talking point of any military ever. Fucking never. And anybody that does it, they're likely Russian paid. Clown military.
Закінчивши зачищати траншею та прийнявши полонених, штурмовики переміщуються до наступної траншеї.
All right, next trench. That position was cleared. Next one. We do know a whole group of Russians already left.
Зверніть увагу, як діє штурмова група. Рух відбувається виключно під прикриттям. Одна частина групи прикриває, інша переміщується до траншеї та займає її.
Yep, buddy fire, buddy movements. So Ukraine's doing that as well, and we taught that in the U.S. military. Cover me while I move. Got you covered. And then you communicate. You shoot, move, and communicate. Yep. Your rear squad's providing suppressing fire while your other squad's advancing. It's just basic soldiering. I wasn't even in the infantry, and we learned that shit. You know, you learn that in basic training.
Штурмова група дійшла до наступного рубежа оборони ворога. Подивіться на те, як екіповані російські бійці. На них немає бронежилетів, немає камуфляжу.
No camo, no body armor, out there with a jacket on and helmets from World War II on. says apparently their homeland doesn't care about them very much. No, they don't.
Мабуть, їхня батьківщина не дуже то про них і дбає.
Bruh. Trying to hide. Oh.
Штурмовики підійшли
The music change. Back to the assault group of
на
Ukraine.
достатню дистанцію для застосування
It's like they had like circus music playing for the Russian military, then it goes back to the Chad fucking base here. Listen one more time. Jeez, dude.
Штурмовики підійшли на достатню дистанцію для застосування гранат по бліндажам та окопам. Російський солдат тікає, але йому не щастить. Мабуть, кращою думкою було б здатися в полон.
Dead. Probably would have been a better idea to surrender. Yep. Now he lost his life. What an absolute dog shit way to go, right? You get sent to Ukraine, invade, commit genocide, live in squalor. You're not given armor. You're given Kalashnikovs that don't work. Machine guns don't work. And you're just sent to die. Literally just sent to die, and then you get killed. But propagandists and people like Robert F. Kennedy are simping for this.
Друга спроба втікти.
He's not gonna make it
Але і
either.
вона не вдала.
Yep. And dead. Nope.
Невеликий на зріст російський солдат тікає.
Oh, a small
Він
soldier.
ігнорує своїх поранених товаришів, хоча ті все ще живі, і продовжує бігти.
So he ignores his wounded comrades because those two that were hit were still alive apparently at the time, and just runs right past them to save his own life.
Сьогодні йому пощастило. І принаймні в найближчий час він залишиться живим.
Look at him run. Look at him run. Like rabbits, they ran. Oh. Yeah. Got the grenades coming in.
Ці росіяни геть нічому не вчаться і продовжують бігти, хоча їхній маршрут відступу знаходиться під вогневим контролем. Ця спроба теж невдала.
They're trying to retreat still.
Тих, у кого вистачило розуму здатися, беруть в полон.
Those who had sense to surrender were taken as prisoners. Like this guy.
Вони знімають бронежилети та шолом, викидають зброю. Ці два російські піхотинці сьогодні будуть жити. І, скоріше за все, отримують краще відношення, ніж те, яке було у них під час служби.
So 2 Russian positions were taken.
У цього росіянина пошкоджена нога. Скоріше за все, перелом. Замість гіпсу до неї примотана дошка. В полоні він отримає необхідне лікування, його життю нічого не буде загрожувати.
So he said the Russian fractured his leg. He will be treated because that's what proper Western militaries do, even for the enemy. Even the enemy military, you got to take them back and provide medical care. You got to treat them like a prisoner of war. But there's laws and rules, and you gotta treat them as you gotta treat them. Even being the enemy.
Штурмовики продовжують рух і доходять до краю ворожих укріплень.
Ukrainian stormtroopers continue to push.
Те, що залишилось від мінімум як однієї роти російської піхоти, тікає через канал.
And they continue to try to run away across the canal. Look at him just like waltzing and just, yeah, is that one even gonna make it up the thing? His boots are probably fucked. No, he's making it. Wow, what a video that was. That's probably one of their best. That was probably one of their best videos thus far. I just posted it. Oops. I was just posted 11 hours ago. There's an uncensored version in the Telegram channel, but I can't play that one obviously because of YouTube. But wow, I mean, they went from getting hit in their own trench, the Terra unit, and then they got revenge by providing forward observation of those Russian positions. They took out one of them, and then the Russians retreated as usual. Then they went to a second position and destroyed Russians that weren't even wearing body armor. Yeah, geez, dude. Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity that Russia continues this invasion. Oh my goodness, we're up to 12 donations. Look at, we got a goal of 16,000 euro, y'all. If we can get that done, I could likely get on the next convoy here to Ukraine and get a third vehicle. But continue that. The link is in the description for our NAFO 69th Brigade fundraiser for vehicles to the Ukrainian soldiers. If you guys want to watch the videos of me delivering it, it's all posted on the YouTube channel. Vlogs, streams, like I'm doing a bunch of content while we've been here. A lot of content while we've been here. And I hope you guys go and check all of that out. It's all posted here. All right. So that's going to be it for me for tonight, you guys, on this Saturday. That's the latest news and events. Don't really have a whole lot.
The viewers
oops. Don't have a whole lot of new information for you guys in terms of territorial changes, or is it anything new on the map? So that's just news, combat videos, and then I hope you guys tune in tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for Europeans and people here in Ukraine, but it'd be in the later on in the night for you guys. It'd be like 11 p.m. Central, midnight Eastern for Good Morning Kyiv. We're going to have Johnny FD and Operator Starsky on, and I hope to see you guys there. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please go and check out the vlogs of the whole reason why I'm here. More people watch me at home for some reason. I like to look at a map. I like to have someone commentate on map streams, and I'm not even here, but when I'm here, it's like, where is everyone? I wish that would change, but it is what it is. We're nearing 60,000 subscribers on YouTube, you guys. We're like a little under 600 away now. So if you're new to the channel, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Even when I get back home, we cover the news every day. Every single day we do a stream. It starts at 8:15 Eastern. But while I'm here in Ukraine, it's a little earlier in the night, or earlier in the afternoon, because I just can't, like, I'd have to start the stream an hour from now, and I'm already getting tired. It would just be dog shit, and like I would get no sleep. And I wouldn't be able to go out and take pictures in Kyiv and do what I'm doing here, which you can also find on my Instagram. You can follow me on Threads. That's like the new Twitter. I post there as well. Telegram, Discord, links are in the description. That's where our communities are. We have like nearly 6,300 in our Discord server. So that's more followers than I had on Twitter anyways. And I can post there, and we have a great Ukraine support community on our Discord server, so please join that. Join all the links, go see all the videos, go watch today's Good Morning Kyiv stream if you don't even know what that is and you'd like to see it with Mick. But a whole podcast is there. You guys can check that out. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Have a good day. Take care. Oh my goodness. Oh shit. No. Fan funding. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I was just about to end it, but then I almost, oh my God, I didn't go through that. So if you're still here, this is for you. Delete Lips, member for 1 month. Thank you for all you do, Andrew. Thank you so much. Maria Margarita Bravo, thank you so much. Thank you, Mercado. John King, 5 gifteds. Thank you. Chrissy with the 20 gifteds. Thank you so much from Chrissy S. Mark Webb. Great stream this morning. Thank you. Edward Cooley says your work is all over YouTube. Good job. Don C. Give Mick, Bert, and Ernst. No. No. That'd be a disaster. Coach Brian not for Bert and Ernie. Coach Brian, Slava Ukraine and Mahomes is the GOAT. Skull Vikings. Check out the quarterback on Netflix. Thanks for ending, Andrew. Of course, Mark. Coach Brian with a 99 super chat, or 99-cent super chat. Benny with the $50 for the travel fund. Awesome. Thank you. Maria with a $10 super sticker. Karen with the big $50 super sticker. Thank you. And Hill with the 5 gifteds. Ozzy T with the 20 gifteds. Chrissy with 20 more gifteds. Fran Carrier, thank you so much. Also for another becoming a member of the channel. Rose with the $5. Lars with the super sticker. Maria with the super sticker. Noel with 5 gifteds. CF Beauty, welcome to the channel. Christina with 5 gifteds. Trevor Hill says you're confused by the far right, far left hybrid. Me too. Me too. Yeah, we've entered a new realm. They're flipping. John Wester says Slava Ukraine, and I am a G. So welcome to level 1 of the channel. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.